Picture this: you've poured your heart and soul into a project, spent countless hours planning and working, only to watch it crumble before your eyes. The feeling of disappointment sinks in, maybe even embarrassment, and you start questioning your abilities, your decisions, and even yourself. Sound familiar? If you've ever faced failure, and let's be honest, we all have, then you know just how overwhelming it can feel. But what if I told you there's a way to not just endure failure, but to use it as a stepping stone to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient? That's where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy confined to history books. It's a timeless, practical guide to navigating life's toughest moments with clarity and purpose. In this video, we're diving into 20 powerful ways Stoicism can help you handle failure, showing you how to transform setbacks into opportunities for growth. By the end of this journey, you'll walk away with newfound tools and insights to face challenges head-on and emerge better than ever. So, if you're ready to shift the way you see failure and unlock your inner strength, stay tuned, because this is where the transformation begins. Now, turning to the first powerful way Stoicism helps you handle failure, it begins with embracing the concept known as the Dichotomy of Control. This Stoic principle emphasizes a simple yet profound truth. There are things in life that are within your control, and there are things that are not. Understanding this distinction can be a game changer when it comes to failure. For example, let's say you failed an important exam or missed out on a job opportunity. Instead of spiraling into frustration over the outcome, something you cannot change, Stoicism encourages you to redirect your energy toward what you can control. This might mean improving your study habits, seeking additional resources, or refining your interview skills. By focusing on your own efforts and actions, you not only regain a sense of agency, but also reduce the stress and anxiety that come from fixating on external factors. Think about it: worrying over things like how others perceive you or uncontrollable circumstances only wastes your mental energy. But when you shift your mindset to ask, what can I do right now to learn, to grow, and to improve? You start to see failure as an opportunity instead of a dead end. This idea is not about ignoring external challenges, but about choosing where to place your attention and efforts. The result: a clearer mind, a greater sense of control, and a stronger ability to navigate failure with resilience. Moving forward, let's dive deeper into the practical applications of the Dichotomy of Control and how you can integrate this powerful Stoic principle into your daily life. Imagine facing a setback such as a failed business venture. A great way to apply the Dichotomy of Control is by creating two clear lists: one for what lies within your control and another for what doesn't. For example, under controllable, you might include improving your business knowledge, reaching out to a mentor, or refining your business strategy. On the other hand, uncontrollable items might include market trends or other people's decisions. By visually separating these factors, you can redirect your energy and focus toward actionable steps rather than wasting time dwelling on things beyond your influence. This approach not only clarifies your priorities but also promotes a sense of empowerment. A perfect example of this in practice comes from Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the greatest Stoic philosophers. Despite facing immense pressure and countless challenges, he consistently reminded himself to focus on his own thoughts and actions while accepting external events as they were. In his writings, he often reflected on the importance of maintaining inner tranquility by not letting external chaos dictate his state of mind. This mindset allowed him to govern with patience and wisdom, even in the face of adversity. Following his example, you can use this principle not just as a way to navigate failures, but as a daily compass. The next time you encounter a setback, pause and ask yourself, what is within my power to change and what isn't? This simple practice cultivates clarity, resilience, and a proactive mindset, turning challenges into opportunities for growth. Now turning to understanding failure as feedback, let us explore how Stoicism profoundly shifts our view of setbacks. Instead of seeing failure as a dead end, Stoics interpret it as a pivotal moment for self-improvement and growth. Picture this: you miss out on a promotion at work. A typical reaction might be frustration or self-doubt, but a Stoic approach reframes this situation. It encourages asking reflective questions like, "What can I learn from this?" Or, "How can I improve for the future?" This mindset transforms failure into a valuable teacher. Rather than internalizing the defeat, you see it as a guide showing areas where you can adapt and refine your efforts. For instance, losing that promotion may highlight an opportunity to enhance your skills, build stronger relationships with colleagues, or better align your goals with the organization's needs. By treating failure as constructive feedback, you maintain your motivation and avoid spiraling into despair. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." This wisdom reminds us that setbacks are not roadblocks but stepping stones in the journey of growth. Every misstep carries a lesson if we are willing to look for it. Adopting this perspective fosters resilience and adaptability, equipping you to face future challenges with greater confidence. So, the next time you encounter failure, pause and reflect, what is this experience trying to teach me? This question not only shifts your outlook but also empowers you to rise stronger and wiser, seeing every setback as a hidden opportunity to improve. Moving forward, let us delve into some real-world examples of how failure can transform into insightful feedback through a Stoic lens. Consider the story of the Stoic philosopher Seneca. Despite his immense contributions to philosophy, Seneca faced exile and disgrace during his career under accusations of conspiracy. Yet, instead of succumbing to bitterness or resentment, he used this period of isolation as an opportunity for deep reflection and writing. It was during this challenging time that he composed many of his most profound works, offering timeless wisdom that has inspired countless generations. His exile, though a perceived failure, became a fertile ground for growth and self-expression. Now, think of a contemporary example: a professional athlete who loses a major competition. Instead of seeing this as a definitive setback, many champions analyze every detail of the loss. They review their strategy, adjust their training regimen, and return stronger, more prepared for the next challenge. This mirrors the Stoic mindset of examining failure as a mirror reflecting areas for refinement. To apply this in your own life, start by viewing each failure as an essential feedback loop, a sort of personal progress report. Let us say you tried starting a business but it did not succeed. Instead of labeling it as a failed venture, ask yourself, what insights did I gain? Did you uncover ways to manage resources better, identify gaps in your planning, or learn how to handle rejection with grace? By extracting these lessons, you not only salvage value from the experience but also prepare yourself for future success. The power of this mindset lies in shifting focus from the sting of the failure itself to the valuable data it offers. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Each setback holds a lesson, and every lesson guides you closer to your potential. When you embrace this perspective, failure becomes less of an adversary and more of a trusted mentor guiding you along the path of growth. Now turning to another critical tool in the Stoic arsenal, let's explore the concept of negative visualization. At its core, this practice involves intentionally imagining potential setbacks or failures before they occur. While it might seem counterintuitive, the purpose is not to dwell on negativity but to mentally prepare for life's uncertainties. By rehearsing possible challenges in your mind, you can reduce the shock and emotional turbulence if and when they happen. Imagine you are preparing for a job interview. Through negative visualization, you might consider scenarios like forgetting an answer, facing unexpected questions, or not receiving an offer. Instead of letting these thoughts paralyze you, you use them as a mental exercise to form strategies. How would you handle each situation with composure? What backup plans could you create? This proactive mindset not only strengthens your emotional resilience but also minimizes fear of the unknown. Stoicism teaches us that by anticipating hardship, we can face it with greater calm and decisiveness. Think about it this way: if you prepare your mind to navigate stormy seas, you will not be overwhelmed when the waves hit. This practice also fosters gratitude. When you visualize losing something you value, you often come to appreciate it more deeply in the present. Reflecting on what life would be like without your job, relationships, or even good health enhances your awareness of their importance. Negative visualization is not about pessimism. It is about clarity, preparation, and gratitude. It helps you step into life's uncertainties with steady resolve, fully aware of the fragility of existence but also equipped to cherish the present moment. By imagining the possible, you learn to embrace the inevitable with strength and wisdom, anchoring yourself in the lessons of Stoic philosophy. Moving forward, let us understand how to effectively practice negative visualization, transforming it into a tool of empowerment. Begin by setting aside a few quiet moments where you can focus without distractions. Start by identifying an area of your life that is significant to you, perhaps your career, a relationship, or a personal goal. Once you have this in mind, gently think about what setbacks or losses might occur in that area. Be specific but avoid overwhelming yourself. For instance, if you are preparing for an important competition, you might visualize underperforming, making a mistake, or losing entirely. The goal here is not to spiral into worry, but to calmly acknowledge these possibilities. Next, shift your perspective by asking yourself how you would respond to these scenarios. What steps could you take to navigate them with dignity and resolve? Visualize yourself facing these challenges with composure, noting what support or resources might help you recover. This exercise is not about succumbing to fear, but about cultivating preparedness and resilience. To deepen this practice, consider incorporating journaling or meditation. Write down the possible outcomes you imagined and reflect on the emotions they stir within you. Journaling allows you to sort through your thoughts and identify strategies for managing those emotions. Similarly, meditation can help you sit with these visualizations, calmly processing them without judgment. Over time, these practices can reduce the power of anxiety by familiarizing you with life's uncertainties. For example, before a critical presentation at work, you might take a few minutes to mentally rehearse what could go wrong, a technical issue, difficult questions, or even forgetting a key point. By visualizing these events and preparing your responses, you arrive at the moment with a sense of steadiness. Negative visualization is about training your mind to remain calm and resourceful no matter what happens, empowering you to move forward with clarity and courage. Now turning to building emotional resilience, Stoicism offers invaluable lessons in mastering our emotions, enabling us to recover from failure with greater speed and composure. At its heart, emotional resilience in Stoicism begins with mindfulness, the practice of observing your thoughts and feelings without being carried away by them. For instance, when faced with failure, instead of reacting impulsively with anger, frustration, or despair, Stoicism teaches us to pause and examine our emotions. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is this emotion serving me or hindering me? This reflective approach helps you step back from the intensity of the moment, giving you space to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. Another cornerstone of Stoic emotional resilience is rational thinking, the ability to separate facts from interpretations. When you encounter failure, consider the situation objectively. Did you truly fail, or is this simply a setback? What lessons can you extract from this experience? By focusing on what is real rather than imagined fears or exaggerated outcomes, you can prevent emotions from spiraling out of control. For example, imagine you did not get the promotion you were aiming for. Instead of dwelling on feelings of inadequacy, Stoicism urges you to reflect rationally. Had you done your best? Are there areas for growth? By reframing the event through this disciplined mindset, you reduce emotional turmoil and prepare yourself for future opportunities. Furthermore, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of accepting what is outside your control. Emotions often overwhelm us when we cling to outcomes we cannot dictate. Instead, by grounding yourself in the idea that outcomes are influenced by many factors beyond personal efforts, you lighten the emotional burden of failure. This acceptance is not about giving up, but about focusing your energy on what you can control, your actions, thoughts, and attitudes. Imagine falling short in a personal goal, like completing a fitness challenge or mastering a new skill. A Stoic perspective would remind you that while the result may not have been achieved, the effort and discipline you invested remain meaningful accomplishments. This shift in focus helps you remain emotionally steady even in the face of disappointment. By consistently practicing mindfulness and rational thinking while accepting the uncontrollable, you strengthen your emotional resilience over time. You begin to bounce back from setbacks with a calm, balanced perspective, ready to face whatever comes next with unwavering determination. Moving forward, let us delve into practical tools for building emotional resilience through Stoic practices. One foundational technique is journaling, a method highly favored by ancient Stoics. Think of Marcus Aurelius, who famously wrote his reflections in what later became known as meditations. Journaling allows you to untangle your thoughts and emotions, giving you clarity and perspective. Each day, take a few moments to write about your experiences, particularly how you responded to challenges or failures. Ask yourself reflective questions like, what did I do well today? What could I improve upon? Did I act in alignment with my values? This habit not only fosters awareness but also helps you identify patterns in your reactions, enabling gradual improvement in emotional regulation. Another powerful Stoic tool is self-reflection through focused meditation or quiet contemplation. Dedicate a few minutes daily to examine your thoughts without judgment. For example, if you faced a setback, sit quietly and observe your emotional responses, asking yourself whether these feelings are constructive or merely draining your energy. This practice cultivates a calm, detached mindset, allowing you to approach challenges with composure and rationality. Modern applications of these Stoic techniques also include stress management strategies such as mindful breathing exercises. When you find yourself overwhelmed by failure, try slowing down your breath and counting each inhale and exhale. This simple act anchors you in the present moment, reducing anxiety and restoring emotional balance. Likewise, creating what some call a Stoic pause is invaluable. The next time you feel a surge of frustration or disappointment, pause before reacting. Use this moment to remind yourself of what you can and cannot control. Then choose a response that aligns with your values and long-term goals. Over time, these practices, journaling, self-reflection, and mindfulness, become second nature, helping you build a strong inner resilience. You become less reactive, more thoughtful, and increasingly capable of navigating life's inevitable failures with grace and determination. With these tools in hand, you are better equipped to face setbacks, drawing strength from the wisdom of Stoicism to remain steady no matter the storm. Now turning to the Stoic belief in the impermanence of failure, we uncover a perspective that can profoundly shift how you navigate tough times. Stoicism teaches us that everything in life is transient, our successes, our struggles, and yes, even our failures. Marcus Aurelius reminds us in his writings to observe how swiftly time flows, carrying away the things of today like leaves on a river. This understanding offers a powerful remedy to despair. When failure feels overwhelming, remember that it too will pass. No setback, no matter how daunting, is permanent. By embracing this truth, you create space for hope and forward motion. For instance, think back to a time when you faced a significant failure. a failed exam, a business loss, or a broken relationship. At that moment, it may have felt like the end of the world. But here you are now, having moved beyond it. Perhaps it even led to a new opportunity or an unforeseen path of growth. Recognizing the impermanence of failure reminds us that life's challenges are fleeting chapters, not the whole story. This mindset allows you to approach setbacks with patience and perspective. Instead of being trapped in the pain of a moment, you can step back, see the bigger picture, and trust that time brings change. This does not mean dismissing the emotions that come with failure. Rather, it means understanding that these emotions are just as temporary as the circumstances themselves. When disappointment strikes, remind yourself, this is not forever. I will grow and rise beyond this moment. By internalizing the impermanence of failure, you unlock resilience, enabling yourself to face each setback with steady resolve and an unshakable sense of hope for what lies ahead. Now turning to life lessons from the impermanence of failure, let us delve into the teachings of Epictetus, who emphasizes the fleeting nature of all things. He once said, "It is not things themselves that trouble us, but our opinions about them." This profound insight reminds us that our perception of failure often magnifies its impact, making it feel more permanent than it truly is. Imagine a craftsman who spends months creating a beautiful ceramic vase, only for it to shatter suddenly. Epictetus would urge this craftsman to reflect on the nature of the vase. It was always destined to be fragile, and its breaking was an eventuality, not a catastrophe. Similarly, when we experience failure, we can choose to see it as a temporary outcome rather than a permanent state. Consider a modern scenario like losing a job. At first, it might feel devastating, but many have found that such moments become turning points, leading to new, unexpected opportunities. Perhaps it allows you to pursue a career aligned with your true passions or develop skills you might have otherwise overlooked. Personal losses can also teach us the impermanence of circumstances. For example, the ending of a relationship might feel insurmountable, but as time passes, you gain clarity, maturity, and perhaps even gratitude for the growth it inspired. This Stoic principle encourages you to view life as an ever-changing flow of events, where each moment, pleasant or painful, is but a part of a greater journey. By recognizing that no failure is final, you can accept setbacks with grace and focus your energy on navigating toward new beginnings. With this mindset, every ending becomes a doorway to a fresh chapter, rich with possibilities yet to be discovered. Now turning to accepting responsibility through Stoicism, this principle emphasizes the importance of owning our actions and decisions, even in the face of failure. The Stoics teach that when we acknowledge our role in a setback, we shift from being passive victims of circumstance to active participants in our own growth. Imagine a student who fails an important exam. Rather than blaming the difficulty of the test or external conditions, they pause to reflect. Did they prepare enough? Were their study methods effective? This honest self-assessment is not about self-criticism, but about gaining clarity and identifying areas for improvement. In this way, failure becomes a stepping stone to progress. By taking responsibility, the student can adjust their approach, perhaps by seeking guidance from a tutor or adopting new study habits, ultimately increasing their chances of success in the future. Similarly, in a workplace scenario, suppose a team leader is overseeing a project that does not meet expectations. Instead of pointing fingers at team members or external factors, a Stoic mindset would guide the leader to evaluate their decisions, communication, and strategies. This honest evaluation not only fosters accountability but also strengthens trust and respect within the team. Through this lens, responsibility becomes empowering. It allows us to reclaim control over our path forward. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom highlights the transformative power of taking ownership, as it encourages personal growth and character development. By embracing responsibility, we not only improve how we handle setbacks but also evolve into stronger, wiser individuals, capable of navigating life's challenges with resilience and integrity. Moving forward, let us delve deeper into practical methods for taking ownership of failures and transforming them into valuable lessons. One effective approach is through deliberate self-reflection. This involves setting aside time to analyze the choices and actions that contributed to a particular setback. For instance, after a failed business venture, an entrepreneur might ask themselves, did I allocate resources wisely? Was my communication with the team clear? Did I adequately assess market risks? Such introspection, when done with honesty and without self-blame, creates a foundation for improvement. Another powerful method is actively seeking feedback from others. Rather than viewing feedback as criticism, the Stoic mindset encourages us to see it as a gift and opportunity to gain perspectives we might have overlooked. For example, consider Abraham Lincoln, whose early political career was marked by repeated defeats. Instead of succumbing to despair, he sought mentorship and feedback from trusted colleagues, using their insights to refine his strategies. His eventual rise to become one of the most influential leaders in history demonstrates the strength of embracing accountability and learning from failure. Similarly, Howard Schultz, the visionary behind Starbucks, faced rejection numerous times when pitching his idea to investors. Instead of giving up, he regularly reflected on his approach, welcomed constructive feedback, and adjusted his strategies. This resilience and willingness to take responsibility ultimately transformed a small coffee chain into a global brand. By practicing accountability in these ways, we not only uncover areas for growth but also build a stronger character. It teaches us humility, cultivates perseverance, and fosters a mindset that is equipped to handle future challenges. Taking ownership is not about dwelling on mistakes, it is about using them as stepping stones to greater achievements. As we embrace responsibility, we empower ourselves to take charge of our journey, transforming failures into opportunities for lasting success. Now, turning to the importance of remaining virtuous in the face of failure, let us explore how Stoicism emphasizes living by virtues like courage, wisdom, and perseverance, regardless of the circumstances. The Stoics believed that true fulfillment comes not from external success but from staying true to one's principles, even during adversity. Imagine encountering a significant setback, such as losing a job or failing at an important project. In such moments, it can be tempting to abandon your values or give in to despair. However, Stoicism teaches us to hold fast to virtues, as these are what define our character and provide inner strength. Courage allows us to face challenging situations head-on, refusing to let fear dictate our actions. Wisdom encourages us to make rational decisions and learn from our failures instead of being consumed by regret. Perseverance reminds us to keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the path may seem. Consider Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who faced constant political instability, personal loss, and the pressures of leadership. Despite these challenges, he upheld Stoic virtues, writing in his meditations about the importance of doing what is right rather than what is easy. His steadfast commitment to his principles not only helped him navigate immense difficulties, but also inspired countless others to remain virtuous in their own lives. Similarly, in modern times, people like Nelson Mandela stand as powerful examples of this Stoic ideal. Even during his 27 years of imprisonment, Mandela refused to succumb to bitterness or hatred. Instead, he remained committed to the virtues of forgiveness, justice, and perseverance, ultimately emerging as a unifying leader who changed the course of history. By adhering to virtues in the face of failure, we achieve a sense of peace that is not dependent on external outcomes. It is this inner harmony that enables us to rise above setbacks and stay grounded in what truly matters. As we embrace these ideals, we cultivate resilience, clarity, and the unwavering strength needed to overcome life's most challenging moments. Now turning to examples of virtue in adversity, we find inspiring lessons from both ancient Stoics and modern figures who upheld their principles even in the face of failure. Take the example of Cato the Younger, a Roman statesman renowned for his unwavering commitment to justice and integrity. During a time of political turmoil, he stood firm against corruption and tyranny, even when his resistance led to personal loss and eventual failure in his political ambitions. Cato's refusal to compromise his values, even when the odds were against him, has since become a timeless symbol of moral courage and steadfastness. His story teaches us that true strength lies in staying true to our virtues regardless of the outcome. In more recent history, we see similar resilience in figures like Malala Yousafzai, who, despite facing violence and nearly losing her life for advocating education rights, remained committed to her principles of justice and equality. Her journey reminds us that holding on to virtues like courage and perseverance, even amidst overwhelming adversity, can lead to profound personal and societal transformation. So, how can we embody these virtues in our own lives when confronted by failures? Start by reflecting on your core values and asking yourself what kind of person you want to be, especially in difficult times. When challenges arise, pause and assess the situation through the lens of these principles. For instance, when faced with failure, choose courage over fear by taking constructive action rather than withdrawing. Practice wisdom by analyzing what went wrong and identifying lessons that can guide your future efforts. Embrace perseverance by continuing to work toward your goals, even when progress feels slow or uncertain. Additionally, journaling can be a powerful tool to cultivate self-awareness and reinforce your virtues. Write about your experiences, the challenges you faced, and how you responded in alignment with your values. Over time, this practice will help you recognize patterns in your behavior and strengthen your commitment to living virtuously. By following these steps, you can navigate failures not as insurmountable defeats, but as opportunities to deepen your character and grow stronger in the face of adversity. As we strive to embody virtues in our own lives, we create a solid foundation that empowers us to handle life's challenges with grace and resilience. Moving forward, let us explore the Stoic approach to reframing setbacks as essential parts of the journey rather than obstacles. Stoics believe that every challenge we face serves a purpose, offering lessons and shaping us into stronger, wiser individuals. When seen through this lens, failure is no longer a dead end but a stepping stone in our path toward personal growth and achievement. Imagine you are climbing a mountain, and along the way, you encounter rough terrain that slows you down or forces you to find a new route. While frustrating, these hurdles prepare you for even tougher challenges ahead, building your endurance and problem-solving skills. Similarly, setbacks in life function as tests of your resolve, offering opportunities for reflection and redirection. The key to adopting this mindset lies in embracing failure as part of the process. For example, when a project does not succeed or an opportunity slips away, rather than viewing it as a permanent defeat, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Perhaps it reveals areas where you need to improve, a new approach to try, or even a better direction to pursue altogether. This perspective not only lessens the sting of failure, but also fuels motivation to keep going. A powerful way to internalize this idea is by studying the lives of great thinkers and innovators who turned setbacks into stepping stones. Thomas Edison, for instance, famously remarked that he did not fail, but instead discovered thousands of ways that did not work before inventing the light bulb. His perseverance illustrates the Stoic principle that obstacles are not barriers but opportunities to refine our skills and strategies. By reframing setbacks as integral parts of your journey, you can transform discouragement into determination and self-doubt into self-improvement. This shift in perspective helps you approach future challenges with greater resilience, knowing that every experience, no matter how difficult, plays a role in your overall growth. As we delve deeper into Stoic wisdom, we uncover even more tools for navigating life's trials with strength and purpose. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us delve into how setbacks have profoundly shaped the lives of great Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, offering us timeless lessons. Marcus Aurelius, known for his wisdom and resilience, faced monumental challenges during his reign as Roman emperor. From plagues that devastated his empire to wars that tested his military leadership, his path was far from smooth. Yet, instead of succumbing to despair, he viewed these hardships as opportunities to cultivate inner strength and wisdom. In his personal writings, later compiled into Meditations, Marcus often reflected on the value of adversity, reminding himself that obstacles are not meant to halt progress but to inspire creativity and fortitude. For instance, he famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This mindset allowed him to approach difficulties not with frustration but with a sense of purpose, using each challenge as a stepping stone for growth. Imagine applying this principle to your own life. Perhaps you did not get the promotion you worked so hard for, or a personal goal feels out of reach. Instead of dwelling on disappointment, take a moment to see the setback as a redirection. Could this be an opportunity to reassess your path, strengthen your skills, or explore alternatives you had not considered? One way to practice this is by journaling your experiences and identifying the lessons hidden within each setback. For example, after a failed attempt at starting a business, you might recognize the need to improve your planning or expand your network. Rather than allowing failure to define you, use it to refine your approach. By reframing these moments, you shift your focus from what went wrong to what can be learned and improved. This mindset does not just belong to Marcus Aurelius. It is a tool you can adopt in your daily life to grow stronger with every challenge you face. Through stories like his, we see how setbacks are not the end of the road but rather crucial parts of the journey that build character and resilience. As we continue to explore the profound insights of Stoicism, we will uncover even more practical strategies to turn life's trials into triumphs. Moving forward, let us explore the powerful Stoic practice of cultivating gratitude even in the midst of failure. At first glance, being grateful during hardships might seem counterintuitive, but this mindset is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that gratitude is not reserved solely for success and good fortune, but extends to every experience, including setbacks. Why? Because even failures carry lessons, perspectives, and opportunities for growth that we might not have otherwise encountered. Imagine facing a moment of disappointment, like losing an important opportunity. Instead of spiraling into frustration, pause and reflect on what remains. Are there skills you gained in the process? Did the experience bring you closer to understanding your true priorities? Gratitude helps redirect your focus from what is lacking to what still holds value. For instance, you might be grateful for the courage it took to try, the support you received along the way, or the clarity a setback provided about your next steps. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, often spoke about how our perception of fortune influences our ability to endure difficulties. By practicing gratitude, we reclaim power over our perspective, shifting from a sense of loss to one of appreciation for the lessons hidden in adversity. A practical way to embrace this philosophy is by keeping a daily gratitude journal. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you are thankful for, including something related to a current challenge. For example, if you recently faced rejection, you might list the experience itself for teaching resilience, the friends who encouraged you afterward, and the time it has freed up for other pursuits. This consistent practice rewires your mindset to see value even in moments of difficulty, helping you build emotional resilience over time. Gratitude is not about ignoring the pain of failure, but about balancing it with an awareness of the good that still exists. As you integrate this practice into your life, you will find it easier to remain steady and hopeful, no matter the obstacles you face. Now, let us continue this exploration of Stoic wisdom by discovering how focusing on effort and process over outcome can transform our relationship with failure. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us expand on how daily gratitude practices can be seamlessly integrated into your life to reshape your mindset and transform your relationship with failure. A powerful first step is committing to a gratitude list. Each day, take a moment to write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. These do not have to be monumental. They can be as simple as appreciating a lesson learned from a mistake or the support of a friend during a tough time. When you encounter a failure, try focusing on what that experience has given you rather than what it has taken away. For example, losing a job might initially feel devastating, but within that loss lies gratitude for the chance to re-evaluate your career aspirations or even redirect your energy toward a passion you had been neglecting. This daily practice not only fosters resilience but also helps you find beauty and meaning in adversity. Another effective tool is reflective journaling. Dedicate a few minutes each evening to revisit the day's challenges and consider what positive takeaways they offered. Did an argument with a colleague reveal an area where you can communicate more effectively? Did an unanticipated setback push you to develop a skill you never thought you needed? By consciously seeking these silver linings, you train your mind to see failures not as dead ends but as stepping stones toward growth. For a more meditative approach, try ending your day with a gratitude visualization exercise. Close your eyes and mentally review moments of your day, finding at least one instance where something challenging unfolded but left you stronger or wiser. This simple practice is incredibly grounding and allows a sense of appreciation to flow even during life's darker moments. Consistency is key with all of these practices. Over time, you will notice a shift in how you approach adversity, with less emotional reactivity and more mental clarity. Gratitude not only softens the blow of failure, but also illuminates the path forward, reminding you of the resources, support, and opportunities you still possess. As the practice deepens, you may find yourself naturally viewing challenges with a sense of curiosity and optimism, rather than fear or frustration. Now, shifting gears, let us delve into the transformative Stoic idea of focusing on effort and process over the outcome to redefine how we measure success and failure. As the sun rises on the next chapter, let us explore the Stoic concept of valuing effort and process over the outcome, a perspective that can radically transform how we experience failure. The Stoics believed that true success lies not in achieving a specific result, but in committing wholeheartedly to the journey and the actions within our control. When we tether our self-worth to outcomes, we expose ourselves to despair if those outcomes fall short of expectations. However, by shifting our focus to the process itself, we create a sense of fulfillment that is independent of external results. For example, imagine preparing for a challenging exam. If you focus only on the goal of achieving a perfect score, the pressure can be overwhelming, and failure to meet this target may lead to self-doubt or frustration. But if you concentrate on the effort you dedicate to studying, on the discipline of showing up every day to prepare, and on the progress you make in understanding the material, you derive a sense of pride and accomplishment from the act of trying, regardless of the final grade. This mindset is liberating because it redefines success as giving your best, something that is always within your power. To implement this principle, consider breaking larger goals into smaller, manageable steps and celebrating each one completed as an individual success. By doing so, you train your mind to focus on immediate actions rather than distant, uncontrollable outcomes. Another technique is to set internal goals, such as improving your skills or knowledge, rather than external benchmarks like recognition or rewards. For instance, if you are training for a marathon, view the process of building stamina and discipline as the real victory, rather than merely finishing the race or achieving a record time. This approach not only fosters resilience in the face of obstacles, but also ensures that your sense of accomplishment is not diminished by factors beyond your control, such as unforeseen circumstances or setbacks. In essence, by valuing the process, you create a mindset where failure loses its sting because the act of striving becomes its own reward. As we delve deeper, let us now uncover actionable strategies to develop this process-oriented mindset and apply it in your everyday life. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us explore actionable ways to develop a process-oriented mindset and truly embrace the wisdom of Stoicism in our daily lives. One powerful strategy is to set incremental, achievable goals that focus on progress rather than perfection. By breaking down a daunting objective into smaller, manageable steps, you create a sense of momentum and accomplishment with each milestone reached. For example, if you are working on writing a book, instead of fixating on completing the entire manuscript, aim to write one page every day. This steady, consistent effort not only makes the task feel less overwhelming, but also reinforces the habit of valuing the journey over the final result. Another valuable tactic is to keep a daily journal where you reflect on your efforts rather than the outcomes. Write about what you did well, the challenges you faced, and how you can improve tomorrow. This practice shifts your focus inward to what you can control and helps cultivate self-awareness and discipline. To illustrate the power of this mindset, consider the story of Thomas Edison, who famously tested thousands of materials before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his repeated failures, he reframed them as steps in the process, stating that he had simply discovered countless ways that did not work. His unwavering focus on the process rather than immediate success exemplifies the resilience and determination that come with a process-oriented perspective. Similarly, in a modern context, many successful athletes attribute their achievements not to the moment they won, but to the countless hours of practice and preparation they put in behind the scenes. They celebrate the effort, the discipline, and the growth that occurred during training, knowing that these are the true foundations of success. By anchoring your sense of fulfillment to the process itself, you empower yourself to persist through setbacks without losing motivation. To apply this mindset in your own life, start by identifying areas where you tend to fixate on outcomes. Then, reframe your approach by setting process-based goals that emphasize effort and improvement. For example, if you are learning a new skill like playing a musical instrument, focus on mastering one scale or technique at a time rather than aiming for immediate perfection. Celebrate each small victory along the way and remind yourself that growth is a gradual and rewarding journey. As we continue, let us shift our focus to another profound Stoic principle that can transform the way we perceive and respond to failure. Now turning to the empowering practice of self-compassion through Stoicism, let us delve into how this timeless philosophy encourages us to be kinder to ourselves in the face of failure. Stoicism emphasizes that while we must take responsibility for our actions, we should also recognize that being human means being imperfect. It is natural to stumble, to falter, and to face setbacks. Instead of spiraling into self-criticism, Stoicism invites us to adopt a perspective of self-acceptance and growth. For instance, Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, often reminded himself that mistakes are opportunities to correct and strengthen one's character, not reasons for self-condemnation. By treating our failures as lessons rather than personal flaws, we open the door to transformation and resilience. A practical way to apply self-compassion is to reflect on your inner dialogue. When you notice self-critical thoughts arising, pause and ask yourself, would I speak this way to a dear friend who is struggling? If the answer is no, then reframe those thoughts with kindness and understanding. For example, instead of saying, I failed, so I must not be good enough, try saying, I failed, which means I am learning and improving. This simple shift can significantly impact your mindset and motivation. Another powerful practice rooted in Stoicism is to focus on the effort you put in rather than labeling yourself by the outcomes you achieve. Remind yourself that your worth as a person is not defined by external success or failure, but by the virtues you uphold and the commitment you show in trying to do better. Incorporating soothing rituals such as journaling about your triumphs and losses with a compassionate lens can also foster this mindset. Write about what you learned from the experience, how it helped you grow, and what steps you can take moving forward. A historical example of self-compassion in action can be seen in the life of Seneca, who faced several personal and professional failures during his career. Instead of being consumed by shame, he used his challenges as a source of wisdom, ultimately inspiring generations with his writings. Similarly, in our modern world, consider an entrepreneur whose business idea does not succeed. By practicing self-compassion, they can focus on the experience gained, the skills developed, and the drive to try again, rather than labeling themselves as a failure. In doing so, they cultivate the resilience needed to persist and thrive. To embrace self-compassion through Stoicism in your own life, start by letting go of perfectionism. Understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth but a part of the process of becoming a better version of yourself. Replace harsh self-judgment with constructive self-reflection and approach each challenge with a mindset of patience and grace. As we continue, let us explore how the support of a community can further enhance our journey of growth and resilience. Moving forward, let us delve deeper into practical methods for cultivating self-compassion through Stoicism. One powerful approach is the use of affirmations. These are simple, positive statements that reinforce a kinder perspective toward yourself. For example, consider repeating phrases like, "I am allowed to make mistakes as part of my growth," or "I am learning and improving every day." These affirmations, when practiced consistently, can help rewire negative self-talk and nurture a mindset of encouragement and patience. Another essential method is practicing forgiveness toward yourself. Just as you would forgive a close friend for an unintentional mistake, Stoicism invites you to extend the same grace to yourself. Reflect on what went wrong, acknowledge your emotions, and focus on the lessons the experience offers. This process not only eases the burden of self-blame, but also enables you to move forward with clarity and purpose. Learning from failure with kindness is equally vital. Instead of dwelling on the setback, channel your energy into identifying actionable steps that can lead to improvement. Ask yourself reflective questions like, what did this experience teach me about my skills or approach? Or how can I grow from this? By treating failure as a stepping stone rather than an insurmountable roadblock, you transform it into a valuable teacher. Practices like maintaining a journal can further support this journey of self-compassion. Dedicate time each day to write about your struggles and achievements with an honest yet forgiving tone. Celebrate small victories, however minor they may seem, and use setbacks as opportunities to explore how you can become more resilient. This habit helps you build an ongoing dialogue with yourself that is constructive, supportive, and growth-oriented. To highlight how self-compassion fosters resilience, think about how it shifts your focus from self-criticism to self-improvement. Instead of being trapped in regret, you cultivate the courage to try again, adapt, and persevere. This mindset aligns perfectly with the Stoic idea of remaining steadfast and virtuous, even in the face of failure. By being compassionate toward yourself, you create a strong foundation of inner peace and determination, enabling you to tackle future challenges with greater confidence. As we turn to the next idea, let us explore how seeking support from a community can amplify this journey toward resilience and self-growth. Now turning to leveraging community support, Stoicism teaches us that we are not solitary beings but interconnected individuals who thrive through the exchange of wisdom, experience, and encouragement. Seeking guidance and mentorship during times of failure is not a sign of weakness but a demonstration of strength and humility. When you share your struggles with a trusted friend, mentor, or even a supportive group, you open the door to fresh perspectives and empathetic insights that can help you navigate challenges more effectively. This practice also creates a sense of shared humanity, reminding you that failure is a universal experience. By listening to the stories of others who have faced and overcome similar obstacles, you gain practical advice and reassurance that setbacks are not the end of the road but stepping stones for growth. The Stoics emphasized the importance of learning from one another, with figures like Epictetus highlighting the value of observing and emulating the virtues of those you admire. For instance, if you are struggling to recover from a professional setback, seeking counsel from someone who has successfully tackled similar challenges can inspire new strategies and encourage persistence. Beyond personal gain, sharing your own experiences of failure can also contribute to the growth of your community. By being open about your journey, you not only foster mutual understanding but also offer support to others who may be walking a similar path. This exchange strengthens bonds and cultivates a network of resilience and shared growth. To start leveraging community support, consider joining groups or online forums focused on personal development, where like-minded individuals share insights and encouragement. Additionally, journaling about your struggles and later discussing these reflections with someone you trust can lead to valuable conversations and new ideas. Through this give and take, you embody the Stoic principle of contributing to the collective good while also enriching your own journey. Moving forward, let us explore how Stoicism reframes failure itself as an act of courage, revealing the bravery required to take risks and strive for growth. Expanding on the idea of building supportive networks, cultivating resilient friendships and professional connections is a cornerstone of thriving through failure according to Stoic teachings. By surrounding yourself with individuals who inspire growth and understanding, you create an environment where challenges are met with collective strength and wisdom rather than isolation. To foster such connections, actively engage with people who share similar values or goals. This might mean participating in community events, joining professional organizations, or even connecting with peers through online platforms dedicated to shared pursuits. Historical Stoics often exemplified the power of supportive networks. For instance, Marcus Aurelius, despite his immense responsibilities as a ruler, maintained close relationships with mentors and advisors who guided him during moments of self-doubt and adversity. He valued dialogue and feedback as tools for refining his judgment and character. In a modern context, consider how a strong professional network can provide mentorship, constructive feedback, and opportunities for collaboration when a career setback occurs. Similarly, a close-knit group of friends willing to listen without judgment and offer honest advice can be a source of comfort and guidance when navigating personal challenges. Beyond simply receiving support, contributing to these networks by offering your own insights and encouragement reflects a core Stoic value, the principle of mutual aid. Whether through sharing your experiences in recovering from failure, celebrating the successes of others, or offering a helping hand when someone is struggling, your actions strengthen the bonds of the community while reinforcing your own resilience. A practical starting point might involve small but meaningful steps like reaching out to a colleague to discuss shared challenges, attending workshops or seminars to connect with like-minded individuals, or even setting up a weekly check-in with a trusted friend or mentor to exchange perspectives. In doing so, you embody the Stoic belief that no person is an island, and that through genuine connection, failures become experiences of collective growth and strength. As we continue, let us delve into how Stoicism recognizes the courage it takes to embrace failure and the profound growth that stems from daring to take risks. Now turning to the idea of viewing failure as an act of courage, Stoicism teaches us to honor the bravery it takes to act, even when success is uncertain. The very act of trying, despite the risk of failure, is a testament to your resilience and willingness to grow. In Stoic philosophy, courage is one of the most celebrated virtues, and attempting something meaningful, even if it leads to failure, demonstrates this virtue in action. When you fail, it is not a sign of weakness or inadequacy, but rather an indication that you had the strength to step out of your comfort zone and face a challenge head-on. Failing means you dared to pursue something significant rather than settling into complacency. Consider the example of Cato, a revered Stoic figure. Cato famously opposed the political forces of his time, knowing full well that his efforts might not succeed. Yet his courage to stand firm in the face of overwhelming opposition earned him enduring respect, as his failure was not seen as a loss but as proof of his unwavering commitment to his principles. In your own life, this could mean starting a new business, taking on a leadership role, or even expressing your true feelings in a vulnerable moment. The outcome may not always align with your expectations, but the act itself is what builds strength and character. Each attempt enhances your understanding of yourself and the world around you, making future endeavors less daunting. A practical perspective is to reframe your failures as badges of honor, reminders that you had the courage to try where others might have hesitated. Take time to reflect on the risks you have taken and how they have shaped your journey. Recognize that even when the outcomes are not ideal, the courage to act is itself a victory. This mindset not only reduces the fear of failure, but also encourages you to approach future challenges with greater confidence and determination. As we move forward, let us explore how Stoicism invites us to adopt a long-term perspective, allowing us to see beyond immediate setbacks and focus on the broader picture of personal growth. Now turning to courageous failures in Stoicism, let's delve into inspiring stories of individuals who exemplified bravery through their setbacks. One such figure is Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a profound Stoic thinker. Despite facing constant wars, a devastating plague, and political turmoil during his reign, he maintained his commitment to Stoic principles. His failures to completely eliminate unrest or cure the empire's struggles were not seen as defeat, but as opportunities to act with wisdom and courage in the face of adversity. His writings, compiled in his famous work, Meditations, reveal his reflections on persistence and strength through trying times, making him a timeless example of resilience. Similarly, we can look at Thomas Edison, who famously stated that he had not failed but rather found 10,000 ways that won't work during his quest to invent the light bulb. While not a Stoic himself, his mindset resonates deeply with Stoic teachings. Each setback strengthened his resolve and brought him closer to his ultimate success, proving that failure and courage often walk hand in hand. To develop such courage in your own life, start by re-examining the fears that hold you back. Take a moment to question whether your fear of failure is rooted in concern for others' opinions or in your own self-doubt. Recognizing this is the first step towards overcoming it. Then, focus on taking small, meaningful actions despite these fears. Remember that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. Another practical method is to draw inspiration from your past. Reflect on a time when you faced a daunting challenge yet chose to move forward. What gave you the strength to act back then? How did the experience shape you? Use this memory as a foundation to tackle future challenges with similar resolve. Finally, embrace the Stoic practice of journaling. Write down your thoughts on courage and failure, document your attempts and their outcomes, and celebrate the bravery required to try. By framing each effort as a courageous step forward, you not only honor your resilience but also shift your mindset to see failure as a vital part of growth. Now, as the next phase of our exploration unfolds, let us turn our attention to how Stoicism encourages adopting a long-term perspective, a practice that reshapes our understanding of setbacks and keeps us grounded in the journey ahead. Now turning to adopting a long-term perspective, Stoicism invites us to step back and view life as a vast tapestry where every thread, whether success or failure, plays a role in the bigger picture. This perspective reminds us that failures, no matter how painful in the moment, are often insignificant when seen in the context of an entire lifetime. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reflected on the fleeting nature of human worries, urging us to consider how small most setbacks are when compared to the endless flow of time. By adopting such a viewpoint, we can reduce the sting of failure and instead focus on what truly matters: growth, learning, and progress. Think of a tree growing steadily over decades. It endures storms, harsh winters, and broken branches, yet it continues to stretch toward the sky. Each challenge it faces contributes to its eventual strength and resilience. Similarly, when we embrace a long-term way of thinking, setbacks transform from insurmountable roadblocks to temporary detours on the path to a larger goal. To apply this in your own life, start by asking yourself how this particular failure will truly impact you in 5 or 10 years. Will it still hold the same weight, or will it simply become a lesson from which you grew stronger? Another powerful exercise is to frame failures as chapters in a much larger story. Imagine your life as a book where each difficult moment adds depth and meaning to the entire narrative. This allows you to see failures not as the end of the journey, but as necessary steps toward your eventual triumphs. Journaling is once again a valuable practice here. Write about how a current setback fits into the grander scheme of your life, reflecting on what it might teach you or prepare you for in the future. Alongside this, cultivate patience. Understand that significant achievements rarely happen overnight, and that every success is often built on countless small efforts, some of which may fail. By focusing on the bigger picture, you take the pressure off immediate results and give yourself the freedom to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you stumble. Now, as we continue our journey, let us examine how Stoicism encourages practicing self-compassion, a principle that helps transform failure into a source of inner strength and renewal. Now turning to tools for long-term thinking, Stoicism provides us with practical strategies to help shift our focus from immediate failures to the broader horizon of life's potential. One of the most effective tools is goal setting. Break down your larger aspirations into smaller, manageable milestones. By doing so, you allow yourself to celebrate incremental progress, even when the ultimate goal feels far away. This approach not only reduces the overwhelming nature of setbacks, but also keeps you aligned with your larger vision. For example, if you face rejection in a job application, view it as an isolated step in the bigger journey toward building the career you desire. Instead of fixating on this single event, continue refining your skills and applying for other opportunities, because the ultimate goal remains intact. Another powerful exercise is envisioning future opportunities that failures may uncover. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about the unpredictability of life, encouraging us to remain open to where challenges may lead. Reflect on how a setback might redirect you towards something even better or teach you a lesson that becomes invaluable later. Think of it as planting seeds during difficult times, trusting that some will grow into unexpected opportunities down the line. Visualization plays a key role here. Take a moment to imagine where you'd like to be 5 or 10 years from now, and consider how current obstacles might serve as the fertile ground for that future. Additionally, practicing gratitude for what remains intact despite failure helps maintain perspective and reminds you of your resilience. Journaling once again proves to be a useful Stoic tool. Sit down and write about how today's setback could contribute to tomorrow's growth. Use your journal as a space to connect the dots, linking short-term missteps to long-term goals. Lastly, develop habits that align with your larger vision, even when progress feels slow or uncertain. Daily consistency in small actions, such as learning something new or improving your craft, reinforces the idea that success is built upon sustained effort over time. By keeping your sights set on the bigger picture and applying these tools, you can transform failures into stepping stones for future achievements. Moving forward, let us explore how Stoicism teaches the practice of self-compassion, offering a path to inner peace and sustained personal growth even in the face of setbacks. As we conclude, let us reflect on the 20 powerful ways Stoicism equips us to handle failure. From focusing on what we can control and reframing setbacks as opportunities for growth, to practicing gratitude and embodying virtues such as courage and perseverance, these principles offer timeless guidance. Stoicism reminds us that failure is not the end but a stepping stone on the path to resilience and self-improvement. By internalizing these teachings, we can face life's challenges with clarity, grace, and a renewed sense of purpose. Remember, it is not the failure itself that defines us, but how we respond and grow from it. Now, I encourage you to incorporate Stoic practices into your daily life and embrace failure as a teacher rather than an adversary. Share your thoughts and experiences with failure in the comments below. We would love to hear your perspective. And if you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more Stoic wisdom. Thank you for watching, and may you continue your journey toward inner strength and peace with Stoicism as your guide.